Good afternoon. Today we shall discuss about block 3 of the paper Management of Distance Education. Block 3 consists of 4 units: Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4. In Unit 1, we have aims and objectives of distance education. Unit 2, we have organizational structure of higher distance education institutions. Unit 3, Management of Distance Education System. Unit 4, Issues in Planning and Management of Distance Education Institutions. Let us discuss one by one. Unit 1, Aims and Objectives of Distance Education. As you know, distance education is a system which is meant for those who do not attend the formal educational system, especially the working professionals, the housewives, as well as those who are unable to attend the uh, fixed schedule of the formal educational system. In the second half of the 20th century, the adult education was immensely needed, and it was realized that to train the adults. So distance education came for those who do not attend the formal education institutions. That is why distance education came, and the importance of distance education had grown. There are certain features of distance education, like first, teacher and learner are separated in time and space. Teacher, learner, and learner are separated in time and space, which means teacher and learner are not uh, placed face to face, rather in they are located in distance, and the learning transaction takes place through distance mode. Teaching and learning transaction requires certain degree of interactivity. As per the convenience of the learner, uh, in our distance education system, we are having uh, a transactional period which is uh, suitable to the learner as well as the teacher. Then comprehensiveness of the learning experience. Comprehensiveness of the learning experience. Each learner will have to undergo certain syllabus or the curriculum which is meant for a particular, say, course. So that is why for completion of that course, we are providing certain materials, study materials, which are not uh, uh, which are not below the standard, but which are more comprehensive by nature. It covers more, say, topics which enable the learner uh, to acquire the knowledge from all sides of a particular paper or a particular subject. So that is why we are providing comprehensive knowledge regarding a particular subject or a particular paper. The learning style and preferences vary among the learners. As we know, the distance education system, we are providing choice to those learners. They are selecting their paper, they are selecting their course of study in accordance with their own choice. So, learning is preference and learning style. They read in accordance with their own way. So, that is why more preference, more individuality was promoted in the distance education system. They prefer to the subject of their own choice and they learn in their own way. So, learning style as well as the preferences vary among the learners. And we are admitting the students from various heterogeneous groups and they are doing the particular course of study or a particular, say, uh, course of their own choice. Now let us discuss the aims and objectives of distance education. First, augmenting educational provision. We are providing the distance education to those learners who do not attend the formal educational system and who are unable to fix with the time limit, who are unable to accommodate with themselves with the uh, fixed time schedule as provided by the formal educational institution. So, we are providing opportunities to those who are remaining in their home uh, and do not attend the formal educational institution. So, we are augmenting the educational provision for those who are incapable of attending the formal educational institution. In open universities, a new paradigm. As we know, distance education system as well as the correspondence education system was prevailed throughout the world, but open university came which has a specific characteristic which distinguishes it from other two systems. In open universities, we are providing the learning to our students, which is not fixed with that study materials. Rather, we are uh, giving chance to our students to learn by the help of the medias like radio, television, and computer assisted instructions, computer mediated instruction. So, open university system came, which is which is arising as a new paradigm uh, to the field of distance education. Open University in UK mission. There are certain missions of Open University which has been established in UK. Now let us discuss those missions. Number one, open edge to people of diverse groups. Open University accepts the people of the diverse groups. Diverse groups, those who are comprising the homemakers, those who are the working professionals, those who are remain in the jail, those who are the convicts, those who are punished by the society. So diverse groups of people can join in the open university. And it is open to all types of uh, people. Then open edge to places throughout the European Union. Open edge to places throughout the European Union. Open University is open to places throughout the European Union. That means the people from everywhere in Europe may join in the Open University. Then open edge to methods using distance teaching methods. Open edge to methods using distance teaching methods. In Open University, we are having the methods which is similar with those distance education methods. So, we are adopting the methods at par with the distance teaching methods. Openness to ideas, expansion, refinement, and sharing of knowledge. In Open University, we are expanding the knowledge, refining the knowledge, and sharing the knowledge. And this is the motto of the Open University system. Even right now, so we are finding out in India, Open University is meant for the people of diverse groups, like our IGNOU. Uh, any person throughout the world can enroll himself or herself in any course of his or her choice, and it is open to places throughout the world. Every person who would like to join in Open University, IGNOU, to any course throughout the world may join, and open to as to methods using distance teaching method. IGNOU also adopts the distance teaching methods, and open to ideas, expansion, refinement, and sharing of knowledge. IGNOU also expands its knowledge, defines its knowledge, shares its knowledge. Then meeting technical or vocational education and training needs. Distance education also fulfills the need of the people in technical and vocational aspects. So, the distance education system, it not only it confines with the general education, rather it fulfills the technical and vocational education of the people. Like, for example, one person may do a particular course on a technical education or vocational education, so that uh, he may start a new career after the completion of the course. So IGNOU also from the distance education also provides the technical as well as vocational education. And distance education methods and styles. How distance education works throughout India in many universities or institutions. First of all, enrollment comes, that is, the university or the institution gives advertisement in newspapers, in websites, and then comes. After that, study materials or learning materials will be distributed. Then personal conduct programs or PCP classes, PCP lectures are organized, and then examinations are conducted or evaluation has been done by the university. Then distance education technologies, radio, television, computer mediated communication. These are the technologies which are used in the distance education system. We are broadcasting certain programs based on the particular course. We are also telecasting certain programs based on the course, and we are also teaching by the help of the computer so that the learners at a distance mode would be able to avail our teaching. Distance learners' problems and needs. Even though as a distance education is functioning throughout India, but still there are certain problems and needs which are arising on the part of the learners. That is, first information about the course. Information about the course we are doing by the help of media, that is through newspapers, through websites. We are providing information about the course, but those who are the unreached people, they could not able to get the information about the course. Then study skill practice. Whatever the study skill practice which is needed on the part of the learners, that study skill practice is not possible to all types of learners, because in India we can find out there are certain people, groups of people who are residing in hilly areas and who do not do practice the study skills as per the requirement of the system. And it also requires the comprehensive education. And this particular point, that is comprehensive education, which is needed on the part of the learner, and it requires more time to spend. And there are few groups of learners who do not spend such a long hours on studying a particular course. These are the problems faced by the distance learners. But still then, our distance education system is growing at a high rate throughout our country, which is uh, able to fulfill their needs in spite of the problems. Those who are in need of a particular course or a particular syllabus, they could able to fulfill their dream by joining the course in an university or an institution which is dealing with the distance education. And in the society right now, the demand towards distance education is more, as because uh, it, it, it is providing ample scope for the learners to read, to learn at their own pace, uh, and to learn in accordance with their own style. So distance education is widely uh, uh, seen throughout our country in the form of uh, distance education institutions or institutions of distance learning or the school of distance learning of a particular university or a particular institution. Now let us take the unit 2, organizational structure of higher distance education institutions. What is the organizational structure? While discussing about the organizational structure of higher distance education institutions, we are focusing our mind on the typology of distance education institutions. As we know, distance education is meant for those who are unable to attend the who are unable to attend the formal education institutions. So they are attending the distance education institutions to the course of their own choice. If we are analyzing the typology of distance education institutions, we are finding out dual mode institutions as well as single mode institutions. What is the dual mode institutions? Dual mode institutions are those which provide on campus as well as off campus facility. Like the Indian model, in many of the Indian university, we are finding out dual mode institutions. A candidate can pursue a particular course on campus as well as off campus. What is on campus? In on campus, a candidate can able to attend the classes uh, attend the classes as per the time schedule fixed by the university or fixed by the institution which is running distance education course. And off campus, a candidate can able to do a particular course remaining away from the university or away from the institution. So dual mode institutions can offer the distance education on campus as well as off campus, side by side. So that the learner will get the facility of on campus as well as off campus uh, studying a particular course of the distance education system. Then single mode institutions. There are certain uh, distance education institutions which are providing exclusively the distance education courses. And these are the single mode institutions. They are providing off campus uh, of learning the distance education courses like United Kingdom Open University. We are finding out which is exclusively meant for the distance education uh, in the off campus or the Open University in the off campus. So in single mode institutions, we are finding out the faculty members, the teaching staff, non-teaching staff who are working exclusively for distance education or open university course. Then management of student support services. Management of student support services, which is also necessary on the part of the distance education institutions because student support is highly essential. Because here in distance education system, the student is remaining far away from the institution. So student support services is highly needed. Now here in the student support service, in the management of the student support service, we are following through certain stages or certain centers like management of the regional centers. Like for example, in our IGNU, we are having regional centers throughout India. In different states, we are having different regional centers. The regional centers are given the duty of managing the distance education uh, uh, of a particular state. The students, those who are enrolling themselves in the distance education or a particular course of a particular state. So regional centers are fulfilling the need of the students or the support for the students provided through the regional center. Then management of study centers. Study centers are also opened throughout India where it is also fulfilling the needs of the students uh, for attending the personal contact program, submitting the assignment, and giving information about the course, about the specific lectures, about the exam, about the various rules and regulations which are coming from the head office. Then coordination and supervision of tutorial services or summer schools. Coordination and supervision of tutorial services. In the distance education system, we are finding out the tutorial services also. And this tutorial service we are providing through the regional centers, through the study centers. And each study center is delimiting themselves with their own area or own region. As you know, India is a country where different groups of people, different linguistic groups, different social groups of people residing across the country, and They have different languages. That is why we need to establish the regional centers, study centers, so that the, the academicians can able to cater to the needs of the learners of a particular state or of a particular region. So coordination, effective coordination and supervision of tutorial services can be possible through those regional centers or study centers, so that the students can mm, get the information about the course, about the rules and regulations, about the syllabus, about a particular course easily and conveniently. They could able to follow the advice, follow the supervision, follow the uh, hints provided by the academicians or the experts of a particular course or a particular, say, paper. Then counseling services at various stages. In the student support service, we are also finding out counseling services at various stages. While enrolling a particular course, the student needs counseling. Some students are unable to take decision while admitting a particular course, so they need support services or the counseling services, which our counselors are providing at various stages. While enrolling a particular course, they need counseling. While taking the course or during the course also, they need counseling. How to cover a particular paper, how to cover a particular uh, say syllabus, how to write the assignments, how to appear the examinations, and how to answer the questions of various types. So we are providing counseling services also to the students at various stages, and provision for effective feedback. In the student support services, we are also providing them uh, the facility of providing feedback, so that our institution can run properly, our system can run properly. So feedback, the students will provide the knowledge of their result after undertaking a particular course, so that the distance education system can strengthen its strengths and lessen its weaknesses, because we are providing the education at a distance mode. That is why students might face certain problems, students might face certain difficulties after undertaking a particular course. So they are given a particular form of feedback, so that the feedback will be provided by the students to the respective university or the respective institution, which are collected at the end of a particular course, and later it has been analyzed and discussed, and finally the success of a particular course through the distance education has been realized. Then in the student support service, it also includes management of admission, evaluation, and examination. Management of admission. In India, we are finding out more students who are taking admission in the distance education system because of the flexibility which is seen in this particular system, flexibility in attending the class, flexibility in taking admission, flexibility in appearing the examination. So there is high demand of distance education institutions across the country. So how to manage the admission, how to manage evaluation, how to manage the examination. And for this, we are appointing academicians, administrators who are managing the admission process, who are managing the evaluation system, who are managing the examination, the system, how to conduct the examination, and how to conduct the classes, receive lectures, personal contact programs. So on the student support services, we are focusing on all these points: management of regional centers, management of study centers, coordination and supervision of tutorial services or summer schools, counseling services at various stages, provision for effective feedback, management of admission, evaluation, and examination. Then consortium or networked system. What is consortium? It is interinstitutional interinstitutional cooperative effort aimed at resolving financial, operational, and academic service related difficulties. It is interinstitutional cooperative effort aimed at resolving financial, operational, and academic service related difficulties. So through consortium or network system also, we are managing the distance education institutions. That is interinstitutional cooperative effort. Different institutions, they take cooperative effort uh, in a unified way to resolve the financial difficulties, operational difficulties, that is, there are difficulties in maintaining the institution, difficulties in running the institution, then academic service related difficulties also, like teaching, then supervising, and guiding the students. For two institutions or more than two institutions, they will take the cooperative effort in resolving all these issues. Organizational structure of open and distance education universities. What is the organizational structure of open and distance education universities? In open and distance education universities, we are having uh, decision-making bodies who are taking the decision from time to time. In decision-making bodies, we are looking at the planning board who are responsible for planning of different types. And these are the highly educated people who are given the task of planning. Then executive council, it also consists the academicians who are executing the rules and regulations of the distance education or open university. in an institution which are running distance education or open university. An academic council which are who are looking after the teaching, research, innovation, and these are this particular council consists of highly distinguished academicians uh, of a specialized field or area of their choice, and they are also dealing with the teaching, research, innovation in their respective field. Then finance committee also looks after how finance can be managed, finance can be uh, strengthened through different types of funds, grants to a particular institute. So finance committee looks after the finance of all types. That is in the form of grants, in the form of tuition fees, in the form of uh, endowments or funds, in the form of shares which has been invested on a particular, say, university. As we have seen from private institutions also who are offering the distance education courses. In the organizational network, what is the organizational network? In the organizational network of the open and distance education university, we are finding out the executive head, who is the head of the distance education university, and this executive head is called as the vice chancellor. Then after that, pro vice chancellors are also there. Then some directors are there, some deans and regional networks. Yes, the directors are appointed on the basis of the work or the activity of their own choice. Then the deans of different fields, different streams are appointed who are dealing with different streams like like humanities, social science, and science, mathematical science, physical science. So different deans, different directors are appointed. And in the regional network, we are looking at some regional centers where assistant uh, regional directors are there working, assistant uh, subject experts are there. Then in the regional centers, we are finding out some non-teaching staffs who are dealing with different matters related to the distance education system. So, the organizational structure of open and distance education university, we are looking at through all these point decision making body, which is consisting of planning board, executive council, academic council, finance committee, organizational network, which is consisting of executive head, pro vice chancellor, and directors, and regional network consisting of assistant directors, regional directors, then subject experts, distinguished academicians who are guiding the students while doing the distance education or open university course. Now let us move to Unit 3. Unit 3 is Management of Distance Education. Management of Distance Education. In management of distance education, we are looking at from the management's perspective and from the student profile. We are looking at how the management is seen in the field of distance education system. From the management's perspective, varying client needs are there. Varying client needs. In particular, distance education system runs through a particular institution or the university which is running the particular course or a group of course or vast courses which are dealing with the distance education system. Now it fulfills the client needs. Who are the clients? Those who are undergoing that particular course, they are called as the clients or the customers of a particular course. For example, MBA agribusiness or simply MBA, which is done by a particular student to fulfill the aim of being a manager or to be a manager. So that is why varying client needs. The students of different diverse groups, they are willing to take their course of their own choice. And they take their course in accordance with their own choice and they read or they learn different study materials in their own way. The learning style is also different from person to person. So we are looking varying client needs. Various types of students are joining in the particular course. Then responding to emerging needs. Responding to emerging needs. From time to time, we are introducing new course for the students as per the need of the society. Some old courses are there and some new courses are opened to fulfill the emerging needs of the students. So distance education university or distance education institution also fulfills the requirement of the new generation people, new generation students. That is why it is opening the course which is fulfilling the needs of the new generation students, like diploma in cyber security or postgraduate diploma in cyber security and various types of courses which are opened to those who are willing to take the course in accordance with their own choice. And the student profile who are undertaking a particular course. Now, the distance education or open university is uh, is running many courses, many programs in accordance with the choice, in accordance with the demands of the students throughout the country. Now, it is the student who will choose or select a particular course and enroll in that particular course. So the students comprise the house uh, wives or the homemakers, working professionals, or the people who are unable to attend the formal educational system, who are unable to attend the formal educational institutions. That is why they are coming to distance education system uh, as a student or as a learner uh, taking admitted in a particular course. And media choice, reaching the students. Distance education system also adopts certain technologies while transmitting knowledge to the students. It also adopts different medias like radio, television, computer mediated instruction, or computer mediated teaching is done. Now, media choice is also depending on the strength of the university, strength of the institution, which is offering distance education courses. So, media choice is highly uh, important because by the help of media, we can able to reach the students without any difficulty, and the students are also uh, highly attracted to the medias, and through media, the students can able to reach to the teacher without any problem. So media choice is also necessary to reach the students. Then technology and efficiency. What sort of technology has been used by a distance education institution? And from that technology, we are also assessing the efficiency of the program, of the courses of study, of different programs, of different courses, different curricula. So technology brings efficiency, we can say. If an institute is adopting more technology or more technology savvy, then it also brings efficiency its in its programs. Then institutional models. There are certain institutional models which is lying across the country, across the globe, and we are following those institutional models. These institutional models serve uh, as a guide to those institutions which are running the distance education courses. So, the institutional models are also seen across the country, across the globe. And we are managing our say, distance education institution by following the institutional models. How that highly accorded institution is running and what is the procedure, what methods they are adopting. From that, we could be able to uh, follow or we could able to get some guideline how to run our institute, our university properly or smoothly, so that it will never face any problem, any difficulty in running the program or running different courses. So institutional models are also there across the country, across the globe, to which we should follow while managing the distance education institutions. And strategic planning is also necessary because strategic planning ensures efficiency in management, efficiency in administration, efficiency in different fields like academic, non-academic fields. So strategic planning is necessary on the part of an institution. Then the management of the programs, system development. In the management of the programs, we are having system development. We should focus on developing our system and how the system can be developed. The system can be developed if it is not facing any sort of problems in in problems in adopting these different rules and regulations for the students, in executing the rules, in administering the rules, and the students will never face any sort of problem in enrolling themselves in doing a particular course. Now, here this system development will be seen. And course development and preparation. While starting a course, we are looking after the need of the society. And by looking at the need of the society, we are preparing a particular syllabus for a particular course. So course development and preparation it is highly important as because while preparing a particular course, we are looking after the need of the society, need of the learner. And we are focusing on to include the topics which are highly needed by the learners. Then only course development can be seen. And we are also following certain guidelines to the students while undertaking a course so that course development will be seen. Then production and distribution. Once the study materials will be produced for a particular course, then we start distributing the study materials to those who are enrolled in that particular course in an university or a distance education institute. So once course has been developed and prepared, it will be produced as well as distributed. Then organization of student support service. It is also necessary for managing a particular program because students always need support, always need guidance. So student support service in the form of PCP lectures, personal conduct programs, in the form of counseling programs, in the form of uh, giving guidelines. These are highly necessary for the students and which act as a student support service And we are appointing also certain professionals who are dealing with the problems of the students, the problems, their academic problems, their day-to-day problems, then their problems with regards to studying the syllabus, studying the different study materials, then preparing the assignments, writing the assignments, then uh, learning a particular course properly or smoothly. So, student support service is highly important so far as management of the program is concerned. So, management of the program consists of different points like system development. We should develop our system, uh, the distance education system, so that more and more learners will admit in the course. Then course development and preparation. We should develop our course and prepare our course by taking the help of distinguished academicians, and then those course materials will be printed out. It is the production of the production of the materials and distribution of the materials to the students. Then organization of support, student support services. We should also organize the student support services are those who are willing to do a particular course. Then financial management. In the financial management, we are focusing on the budgeting aspect. And that budgeting aspect deals with the finance. The finance, while discussing about the financial aspect of an educational institution, we are looking at the budgeting, how budgeting has been done. Budgeting covers how to invest the money, how to collect the money, and how to distribute the money under different heads. Money in the form of government grants come, comes to an university or an institution which is running the educational, distance education courses. Money in the form of tuition fees is also coming. Then other operations, money in the form of donations are also coming. Then money in the form of interest on investments are also coming. Now, how to utilize those money under different heads and how to invest those money properly so that the institution can never face any difficulty in undertaking the course. So while planning the budget and executing the budget, we are looking after all these things. And this financial management is highly important because unless and until we are having finance, how can we run a particular course or a particular institution? So financial management is highly important. It allows us how to invest the money under different heads so that the beneficiary can uh, get the maximum benefit out of his or her investments. Then activity costs, which is including financial control and system evaluation. Control is necessary in managing the financials. Without control, the money may be misappropriated. So, we should appoint certain officials who are looking after the financial control and who are looking after the evaluation of the system, whether this system is running properly or not, whether the institute is running properly or not. We should look after the different aspects like enrollment, like say distribution of the study materials to the students, then conducting the personal conduct programs, conducting the examinations. Likewise, so by looking at all those activities, all those aspects, we can able to evaluate how the system is running. Because, as you know, uh, there are different institutions where finance is plentifully available, but they do not know how to invest those money in different heads. If we provide finance to an institution, it does not ensure that the institution will develop. The institution should know, or the institution should have some knowledgeable persons to invest those money under different heads. If those people are available, then only the finance uh, can be invested under different heads properly and systematically. And then only the distance education system can be successful. Otherwise not. Because if while distributing the finance under different heads, if the distribution is not proper, then again the system will get difficulties or problems. And the beneficiary will never get the adequate amount of benefits. That is why the management of distance education is the need of the hour, where we should manage the university, manage the system properly so that the beneficiary will get the maximum benefit and the university or the distance education system can develop properly. So side by side development will be seen in two aspects, that is the university will develop or the institute will develop side by side. The students, those who are enrolling themselves in different courses of the university, they will also get the benefit to the maximum extent possible. Now let us come to the Unit 4. In Unit 4 we are having issues in planning and management of distance education institutions. Issues in planning and management of distance education institutions. We have already discussed why distance education is necessary, why distance education institutions grow in India or in the world, because in the second half of the 20th century, the education of the adults is highly needed, or it has been realized to provide education to the adults so that they can contribute maximum to the society, they can contribute different things, they can contribute their virtues, their values, their contributions for the development of the society. So, to educate the adults, two form of institutions were there. One is formal educational institution, another one is distance education institutions. Now, these adults comprise the homemakers and the working professionals, apart from the students, those who are learning in this formal educational institution. Now, those who are unable to attend the formal educational institution, they may join in the distance education institutions. So that is why distance education institutions came out and progressing throughout world. Now, even though the distance education institutions are running, now there are certain issues in planning and management of distance education institutions. From employer's perspective, from government's perspective also, different issues are there. And also there are some other strategic issues. In the management of the institution, pattern of governance, constitution of management bodies, the needs of cooperation and collaboration. From the employer's perspective, while running an distance education institution, it faces certain difficulties, like if the distance education institution is not running properly, if the distance education institution is running different courses but no learners are coming to take uh, admission in different courses, again the institution will suffer from serious difficulties. And from government's perspective, if a particular course or program is run, but no students are admitting in that particular course, then again the introduction of a particular program or course gets failure. Then there are also some strategic issues in the field of the distance education institutions. From time to time, they are facing many difficulties. And while governing those distance education institutions also, they are facing some problems. Problems of getting the study materials in time, problems of distribution of the study materials to the students, problem of conducting personal conduct programs, problem of getting teachers or experts in a specific field, problem of conducting examination, problem of conducting evaluation, likewise. Different issues are there in planning and management of distance education institutions. And constitution of management bodies. Again, this is also highly necessary. To run a particular institute, a management body is to be constituted. And that management body can be constituted by taking a group of academicians, a group of administrators who look after the management of the distance education institutions. So to have a distinguished academicians, a group of distinguished academicians, a group of distinguished administrators is not everyone's cup of tea. Rather, in some parts of our country where the institutions are suffering because of lack of distinguished persons, experts in the different field, that is where the institution is facing many difficulties of guiding the students, many difficulties of producing the study materials, preparing the study materials, teaching in the personal conduct program. So these are the many various issues which is coming under the constitution of management bodies. Then the needs of cooperation and collaboration. An institution will run by having cooperation as well as collaboration. If the institute is not getting cooperation or collaboration, then how can it run? So cooperation and collaboration from other institutions, from society members is highly needed. But all the institutions are not getting the same amount of cooperation as well as collaboration. Somewhere and somehow, the distance education institutions, while getting the cooperation and collaboration, they are facing the problems, difficulties. As a result of which, while managing the institution, they are facing serious problems of conducting examinations, conducting personal conduct programs, and issuing the study materials to the students, preparation of the study materials, counseling the students for examination, for learning a particular course. Likewise, then planning in distance education. What is planning in distance education? Planning in distance education includes various points. Number one, the institutional objective. What is the objective of the institution? In accordance with that, we will plan. So that our objective can be realized, so that our goal can be realized. So in planning, we are looking at the objectives, and in accordance with that, we should plan properly so that we can get the students enrolled in our institution. We can conduct the personal conduct programs. We can distribute the learning materials, study materials to the students. We can conduct our examination in right time so that the learners will satisfy with our work, with the institute. They will develop a trust with the institute, trust with the teachers, trust with the professionals who are employed in the institute. Then programs and curricula. While planning in distance education, we should focus on the programs and the curricula. As I have already discussed, the programs and the curricula, the selection, the organization, and control of different programs and curricula should be made properly and in accordance with the need of the society. Different programs we are uh, continuing and different curricula for different programs. We are prescribing the curricula. We are prescribing the syllabus which includes different topics for a different course or a different uh, or a particular course or a particular syllabus or a particular program. So our curricula should be society based so that the program will get success. Then staffing. In staffing, we should look after the academic side and we should look after the professional appointed in the institution. We should also look after the personnel who are looking after the administration. So, while running in the distance education institution, proper staffs should be appointed. The academicians or the teachers are appointed fulfilling the minimum criteria as well as the desirable criteria also. Because if the teachers are having highly experience, then they can contribute maximum at the development of the institution. If the institute is having uh, good professions, good professionals, good persons, then it will contribute best to the teachers. Then if the institute is having good administrators, it can run the different courses, different programs without any problem. So administrators are also highly important for a distance education institution. Then staff development and training. As we know, staff development and training is also needed. What is staff development? We should give chance to our teachers to do certain trainings, certain courses in order to update their knowledge so that development can be seen in them. We should provide training to the non-teaching staff so that they will be more productive in nature, they will be highly efficient, they will uh, be highly productive, they will be efficient, and if do the different works systematically and effectively. And they will never face any sort of problems in doing different activities. They will do the different activities smoothly uh, without any problem. So staff development is highly needed. As society is dynamic, society is changing, the needs of the society is also changing day by day. So our staff should be accommodated with the changes seen in the society. And to accommodate with the changes seen in the society, these need training. And our higher education institution is providing training to the academicians in the form of refresher courses, orientation programs, short span programs, short term programs, long term programs, and programs in the form of seminars, workshops. Different universities are conducting. And for arranging also different programs, government is providing finance to arrange the training programs. So, to update the knowledge and skills, we are providing training to the staffs. If the staffs are getting training, then they will be highly productive. Then designing the delivery system. We should design the properly the delivery system also. How different study materials will be delivered to the students and how the delivery system will be more effective and how the delivery system will be will not be face any sort of problems, and we should look after it, and we should design the system in such manner that the system will not get any sort of problems or difficulties. And finance and budgets. In planning the distance education also, finance and budget is highly needed. Because without finance we cannot able to do our tasks. Finance comes to an distance education institution in the form of grants. Grants from central government, grants from state governments. Then finance also comes in the form of donations. And finance comes in the form of tuition fees from the students. Finance comes in the form of uh, scholarships also, which is to be given to the students. So we should plan the budget properly. How that finance will be distributed properly to different heads. So in accordance with that only we should uh, do our expenditure. So finance and budget is also uh, focused properly while planning the distance education. If the finance and budget is done properly, then the distance education will never face any sort of problems. Otherwise, the institute may uh, face serious difficulties because without finance or without money, we cannot run the institution. And if there is a misappropriation of money or finance, again the institution will be facing serious problems. So planning in distance education covers all these points. The institutional objective, we should plan in accordance with the objective of the institution. And programs and curricula, we should start the programs We should run the programs and curricula in accordance with the objective. Then staffing, academic, professional, administrative. We should recruit the academicians, professionals, administrators to the distance education institute to run successfully the different programs. Staff development and training, we should provide training to the staffs for their development. And designing the delivery system. Our delivery system should be effective so that no student will face the problem of getting the study materials. And finance and budget, we should do our expenditure properly on different heads. Then monitoring and evaluation, management information system. Monitoring and evaluation, we are having management information system. This MES uh, uh, guides us while monitoring and evaluation. It collects the data from the students, from the person, those who are involved in the management of the distance education, and those data will be analyzed on the basis of the needs of the learners, on the basis of the facility available in the university, in the institution which is running the distance education programs. Then maintenance of database, how database can be maintained. And for maintenance of database, we should have uh, some software packages so that we can able to maintain the database properly, and no data will no data will be removed from our database. In our data, if our database will be strong, then management of the distance education can be possible. If the database is not strong, we cannot manage the distance education system, because unless and until we are getting a database, how can we look at the strengths and weaknesses of our institution? So maintenance of database is highly essential. It provides a kind of feedback. It provides some guidelines to the distance education institutions. Then evaluation studies. What are the studies which are done to evaluate the distance education system of a particular institute or a particular university? So evaluation, while looking at the monitoring and evaluation, we are also looking at the evaluation strategy. As we know, monitoring and evaluation, we are appointing certain professionals to monitor and evaluate the institute or the university. So, once monitoring has been done to a particular institute, we could able to know the strengths and weaknesses of a particular institute. So unless and until we are having a database, how can we evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of a particular institute? So by looking at the evaluation studies from time to time to an institute, we could able to see how an institute is running successfully or not successfully. So monitoring and evaluation comprise an essential aspect, which is including management information system, maintenance of database, and evaluation strategy. A particular institute is running different programs, distance education programs. Now, whether the students are getting maximum benefit out of it or getting yeah, benefit in accordance with their uh, need or not. How can we get? We can get the information through the monitoring and evaluation. Certain professionals are visiting the institutions and collecting some information. And this information gives us some data, some database, and those database will be saved in the software package in the computers so that we can use the database and evaluate the performance of an educational institution. So monitoring and evaluation plays a vital role. Without that, without monitoring and without evaluation, without monitoring or without evaluation, we cannot able to evaluate the successfulness of a particular institute or a particular university which is running distance education system. We should have management information system, we should have maintenance, and we should have evaluation strategy. From evaluation strategy, we will assess the performance, we will assess how the institute is doing different activities and how the students are getting the benefit out of it. That is by looking at the feedback of the students also, we can able to evaluate whether the institute is running properly or not. So these are some issues in planning and management of distance education institutions. And these issues should get resolved so that the effectiveness of the distance education institution will be seen. In the planning stage, we should look after the objectives which are stated while setting the institute. And what is the goal of establishment of the institute? And there are some short-term goals, there are some long-term goals. We should fulfill the short-term goals first. Then we are proceeding toward the long-term goals. If short-term goals are fulfilled, then we should proceed toward the long-term goals. And in accordance with the objective, we should take our steps of preparing the curricula for a particular course or introduction of a new program. Uh, and while introducing a new program, we should look after the benefit of the students. We should look whether it is fulfilling the needs of the students or not, of the present generation. So in accordance with the needs of the students of the present generation or the new generation, we are prescribing certain curricula or different programs of study. And for that, we should appoint some academicians in the form of teachers, experts, and we should also appoint some professionals who are guiding our students in different courses or different programs. Now, apart from these teaching professionals, we also need some administrative professionals to administer the affairs of the institute, to look after the various problems related to the teaching, research, innovation, and the different matters of a particular institute. And we should also provide the trainings to the staffs, teaching as well as non-teaching staff, to make themselves updated about the new innovations, new techniques, so that they can apply it in their day-to-day life while serving in the institute, so that they can able to share the knowledge, the new knowledge gained to the students, so that they can able to accommodate with the new groups of learners, so that they can deal with the new generation students. Because without adequate knowledge about the new generation students, how can a teacher will accommodate himself? So, staff training is highly needed. It includes teaching as well as non-teaching staff. For example, teaching by the help of computer in the classroom, it needs some kind of training, because the age-old chalk and talk method never requires computer. But the computer-mediated teaching requires the knowledge of computer, how to handle it, how to uh, take the help of different devices of computer, so that it will help the teacher in the teaching learning process, because education is right now more technology oriented, and students are also habituated in taking education through different technologies. So staff development and training is also necessary. Then once our learners get enrolled to a particular uh, program, they should get the study materials also properly. and in proper time also. If the learners are not getting the study material, they will never read well, they will never study well. So, our institute should have an effective delivery system because the learners are residing far away from the institute. That is why proper delivery system is necessary so that they can able to study well and prepare themselves for the examination. So our delivery system should be effective so that the learners will get the study materials in time. They will prepare their assignments. They will uh, attend the personal contact programs and they will resolve all their issues related to teaching, related to assignment, related to examination. They will resolve all their issues. Then finance and budgets is also highly essential. Without finance, nothing can be done. An institute is getting finance in the form of grants, in the form of donations, in the form of investments on different heads, in the form of tuition fees also. Students are contributing uh, some amount in the form of tuition fees to the institute. So once the finance has been collected, it should be utilized also properly. And for effective utilization, we should also appoint certain professionals so that they can utilize the finance properly on different heads. If there is effective utilization of finance,